Good morning, everyone. In previous lesson, we introduced two methods to prove the two triangle congruent, which is SSS and SAS. So today we are going to continue our lesson to introduce another two methods. We are going to have several videos to introduce the methods, and also we are going to do some practices. So let's get started the lesson. The first, we are going to have a quick warm-up. I suggest you can pause the video and check the picture with a question to work on your own, and later you can compare your answer with mine. So this question asks us, can we prove this two triangle congruent based on the given information? So let's quickly check what are the information is given. So we have a side. We also have another side. So 4 to 4, sometimes even we didn't mark the side, which means if they have the same measurement, they're still congruent. And also there is angle, and also we notice that angle is in between, so it's easily to link to the methods, which is SAS. But I always like to show everything together, so we are going to write down the statements, which is if-then statement. Oh, not really if-then. So we're going to list evidence together. So we're going to write down the evidence together so we know PQ congruent to ST. We also know RQ congruent to VT. And angle Q is congruent to angle T. Okay, so that's are the side, angle, side. Again, angle must be in between the two sides. That's what I mentioned before. That's why, so triangle PQR. Again, you can write any order for the first triangle, but when you write the second one, you have to make sure the order does match. So P is matching to S, so I'm going to write S here. Q is matching to T, and then R is matching to V. And we just mentioned the method we use here is SAS. So we always indicate the method here to show what method and what evidence you have here to prove. Okay, so before we introduce a new method, I'm going to introduce this new verb here, which is new word here, which is called included side. So some students might already recall we did mention something about included angle. Then what is included side? So first of all, included side is very similar to included angle. It's actually in terms of the triangle. So let's label this, let's random three letter A, B, C. Now, included side, very similar to included angle. Angle is between two sides. So included side is between angle. So for example, if I'm talking about angle A and angle C, what is one side between these two angles here? Or you can imagine it's like a bridge connected these two angles, which is this one. So this one is called included side between, sorry, my handwriting, angle A and angle C. So some student might wonder, then what if I'm talking about two different angles? You're right. If we're talking about the two different angles, then we are going to have a different included side. For example, now I'm talking about angle C and angle B. So which one is included side? You're right. This one, this time is BC. BC is included side for angle B and angle C. So for this idea, we are going to introduce a next method, which is called, let's see the definition first. So if two angles are included side of one triangle are congruent to the corresponding parts, then these two triangles are congruent. So let's check what does that mean. So according to the picture here, we have angle A is congruent to angle D, one pair of angles. And also angle C is congruent to angle F, another pair of angles. And included side meaning the side between the two sides. So it's AC congruent to DF. Then these two triangles are congruent. So let's write down the statement here. So if angle A is congruent to angle D, angle C is congruent to angle F, and AC is congruent to DF, This is actually the included side. Let's label here to remind you. Then these two triangles are congruent. Let's write down A, B, C, congruent to. Again, always make sure the letters matches to each other. So the angle matches to the angle. Angle A is matching to angle D. So D, E, F. Now, since we're talking about the angles and the side and angle, so some students probably already figure out this is angle, side, angle. So that's why this method is called angle, side, angle. Very straightforward, right? Okay, so that's the method. That's the first method I'm going to introduce today. We are going to introduce another method in next video. See you soon, everyone.